and it's different. Like, you will never find two autistic people who are the same. Never. No two autistic people are the same. It is different for every other autistic person. So just be patient. You learn them. You learn through them. That is when you're a teacher, but then there's a teacher who's teaching you as well. So that child is a teacher for you. So you just learn through them.
Saseni, manzeni mewa miss, manzeni mewa hata. Welcome back for Cele's Reflection. I'm happy to see you there. I'm happy to see you. Hi, nisalimie kwa hewani. Yes, we're in the month of April, and as we know, April is the Autism Awareness month. In case you didn't know, now you know. So our guest today, such a wonderful guest, yani, such a beautiful guest, is called Martha. She's going to take us through. Today, we're just going to talk about creating more awareness. I know, guys, I know we've done it before. I know we are talking about it all over, but we are never going to get tired about talking about it. We have to be all aware. We need to sensitize the people. Like, ukiona mtoi ama ukiona kitu, usikae, usizubae, usistare, don't stare, don't act like you've seen some strange thing out there. Okay? So that's why we have this segment for today, this episode for today, and yeah, the entire month, and not only in April. Please, if you can, ata November ukisikia kusensitize watu about autism, please do it. Okay? So welcome sana Martha. Karibu sana.
Hi.
Usiwaogope, ni wazuri sana.
Okay.
Yes, introduce yourself.
My name is Martha Oele. I'm a special educator, and I've worked with children, teenagers, and adults with autism for 4 years and some months. Yeah.
Thank you. Yani nikisema you're amazing, it's because that segment you're in, that field you're in, needs nika grace, like whatever you're doing, not many of us can do it. Umesikia nikisema tusiwaone tuna stare?
For sure.
Because that's what most of us do.
Yeah, but also, why would you stare at someone? Because no one likes to be stared
That's
at.
why we are doing this episode where we are creating awareness, because you should not be staring at people. So maybe first things first, before we assume all of us, they know what autism is. I'm a special needs teacher. Maybe unaweza tu waelezea.
So autism in lighter terms is a disability or a disorder that, first of all, it's a spectrum. It's autism spectrum disorder. So meaning the spectrum is because there's so many things that come with it. But you'll find that this child or an adult or a teenager has issues with social skills, communication skills, and then they have a repetitive behavior. Yeah. That is how you can explain it.
So that's how we say that's why they are doing a certain thing in a certain way.
In a certain way. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So social communication challenges, social, ukimpeleka mahali kuna bunch watoto wengi, hataki.
They might not know how to what to do. Let me say that.
Yeah.
Maybe people are cutting cake. They might be like, why am I not the one cutting it? You know, they don't know how to do it like, let me say, normal people do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It answers my question, because we've gone to these events and you see a kid, other kids are playing over there. Yeah, ko. So you as well, the regular person you are,
yeah,
because even that kid is normal,
yeah,
in their own field.
Yeah.
Unashindwa kwa nini hajajoin wengine. So it answers that social behavior, communication. Now that, so if you've said you're a special needs teacher, you are in a combined school, ama it's just a special school for these kids, ama it's all inclusive? That's what I'm asking.
So it's two parts. There's one part where it's purely only children with who are neurotypical. And then there's the other part where it's children in integrated schools and inclusive schools. And yeah, so it's different. Let me say that.
So a normal day, like you as that special needs teacher, how does it look?
I
a
know
normal day in your life, mother?
a normal day is just children coming in, you welcome them, and then you have sessions with them. So the sessions is like you're doing academics, you're doing different other therapies, and that's it.
They're in a class
Yeah.
that is all inclusive.
Yes.
You're in that class as the teacher of all these kids. You sit beside this kid that is
Okay, so let me explain it like this. There are different levels of autism. So you'll find that other children, you need to sit by them. There are other children that you might sit way far from them, but then it's a teacher teaching. You're either looking and the child is seeing what the teacher is saying, and then they're doing whatever they need to do. Or there's another part where it's a child and now the learning support, and the learning support is trying to teach maybe other levels.
okay.
Yeah. So you might be in academics, maybe they're higher or lower. So they are just meeting
So
their
you're
needs.
assisting this kid because the challenge is in communication.
Yes.
The other kids might be teacher wanasonga mbio, so you need to move with his pace.
Yeah. Yeah.
So interesting, very interesting. Because now, I think I don't know whether it's someone I heard here, ama I heard it somewhere about having these kids just join a normal, a regular. A kawaida school.
Yeah.
Which one is better? Is it better if I choose to take them to a school where it's all inclusive, ama a school, ama are there schools? Are there schools for them?
Yes, there are some schools in Kenya that are purely just ASD, but so it depends with the child again, and it depends with the parent as well. There's some children who the intensive teaching, intensive therapy is going to help, but then there are children who going to inclusive schools is going to help.
Okay.
So it depends. It depends. It's different for every other person.
Yeah, depending with the levels again.
Yes.
Okay. So some of the challenges. Now I'm imagining Martha uko kwa class, teacher is there, I'm here with this kid. Wale wengine wanasonga. And of course, we're in the same room.
Yeah.
So I can imagine, are you not distracted at times? Does the kid also feel like I want to move with that teacher, not you?
Yeah, of course. Imagine yourself as a child. And then every other person in class is doing something else, and you're the only one who's not doing the same thing. Yeah, it's very like, oh no, why again? Why me? But then, yes, there are challenges. And so the challenges, there's some barriers, these institutional barriers. You're finding some schools don't work with children with ASD.
Oh yes.
There are.
Oh many.
Yeah.
Oh many. Let me tell you why I'm saying many, because I've had friends who are told itabidi mtoto wako mtoe ukamtafutie shule ingine juu sisi ametushinda.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't know. Kama akona hiyo they don't know, ama wana feel too, which is bad. Wana feel too we can't.
Yeah.
Which is bad.
Yeah, so that is the other one, the social barriers. So the social barriers is wewe tu kwa akili yako. You just umemtenga tu, like umeka tu barrier for no good reason. There's nothing, it's just you have a bias.
Reason yake well si good enough. Na si good now that I'm here with you, because reason yake inaweza kuwa wengine nawaambia watoke wanatoka, au wengine nawaambia nyamazeni wananyamaza, au wengine tunasonga, ana expect kuange hivyo nywe. But this one I need to take extra. Yeah. Like I need to be extra with this one. I need to take extra time. I need to be extra patient. I need to be... So unapata tu shule ikiamua, by the way, you know what?
Yeah. And let me stress on something. Autism is a disability to the extent it disables. So what does that mean? It is not everything or every time that autism is a disability. When you're in class and this child is in class and like they're quiet, they're doing every other thing the other children are doing, how is that a disability? Then it is not a disability. When you're going to now play and maybe this child doesn't know how to play, then that is a disability, because now you have to come up with ways of making them come together with the other children, So that is when autism is a disability. So it's a disability to the extent it disables. Yeah.
So I love that you've cleared that, and I'm talking to you because now at least you're in that field. How, instead of these teachers, nimewakemea poleni, instead
They're
of them
amazing.
doing that,
Yeah.
instead of them telling parents, please chukua mtoto wako ukatafute shule ingine,
Yeah.
ama instead of, juu hiyo pia ni pressure kwa mzazi.
For sure.
Juu even me as a parent, I can't tell my other kids ati wewe ndo ukatafute mzazi mwingine.
Yeah.
I learn how to live with this kid.
Yeah.
So how can even them, tusiwaache hivyo after kuwagombanisha.
Yeah.
How can they at least be inclusive?
Yeah.
Wasikuwa naambia kila time, imagine I have 4 kids in this school, but because of this one I have to remove this one.
Yeah.
Wale 3 wabaki, hata yeye kwa nyumba atakuwa anashindwa. Kwani wale wanaenda ile shule na mimi nilitolewa?
Okay, so I think and there are some who are doing amazing, but what we need to do is be more patient. Patience, just be patient with the child. It's not, there's some people who will just go somewhere and they're just okay. Yeah, they're going, they have friends, but then this one, you need patience. They have to familiarize with the environment and feel like this is my safe space, and then come out of their shells. Now that is the patience. And then the other one is compassion. Imagine what this child is going through. Everyone knows what to do. Like, it's like everyone has a rule book, but then it's like you were born without it. So just be compassionate to understand what is this child going through. Yeah.
So they just need to be patient with this kid.
Yeah.
And somehow you learn how they communicate.
And it's different. Like, you will never find 2 autistic people who are the same. Never. No 2 autistic people are the same. It is different for every other autistic person. So just be patient. You learn them. You learn through them. That is when you're a teacher, but then there's a teacher who's teaching you as well. So that child is a teacher for you. So you just learn through them.
The same way a parent will say, najuanga akitaka kwenda washroom. The same way the teacher will learn.
Yeah.
Atajuanga.
Yeah.
When he's doing that, kuna mtu amemsumbua.
Yeah. And there's some telltale signs. Like, if I was to do this or this, noise. And you're talking.
Yeah, it's
you're
noise.
Noisy. Some you're like, this is very universally understandable. Like, hata kama si wewe, there's someone who'll
kama
be like,
hiyo nimeget.
Yeah. Yeah, if you were talking and then I tried to leave, you're like, okay, my time is up, I'm sorry. I was trying to, I'm sorry, my time is up.
Like, they communicate so...
Yeah, it's just you to understand. And then now, once you understand what they're talking about, now teach them a way of saying it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to be here. What could you say? You could say maybe, let me have a break. Break, please, and then let the child go. If you have to look at if something is universally understandable. So if a child just does that and you're talking, it's time to go.
Yeah, you're making noise.
I'm sorry, it's time to go. And then there's some who have sensory issues. Yeah. They might get into a room and it's so you don't feel it, but then they're like this sensory overload. There's green, there's red, there's blue, there's nini. It's so like they get overstimulated. Yeah. So that is, where the awareness comes in. These are the things you need to come in. You're like, let me see if I had such an autistic person. What could I have done?
Yeah, because I feel like we say about our teachers dismissing these kids, but we never really tell them what they can do to include, like to have them both together with other kids.
Yeah.
Because like now, when you umesema hiyo ya hivi, I'm like, basi si ningekuwa nisha learn, nijuangeo ni noise.
Yeah.
Singekuwa na shida na mtoi.
Yeah.
Next time, akiondoka kwa hiyo room yenye iko na all colors, nijue, he doesn't like this. Like, progressively, I'll get to understand this kid.
Yeah.
Now the thing comes in. Okay, the challenge comes in when you say, not two autistic kids have the same, like, so unaona anashindwa nilan huyu.
Yeah.
So I think just be patient. Ama ni grace to your God, ama compassion. I don't know.
But that is the thing. Once you get to like what you want to know, it'll just come. You're like, okay, so this year I had this child and this is how I used to do it. But then this other year I have another one. So I have to I'm not going to use this.
Yeah.
I'm going to use something else.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when people hear disability, they think that this might mean that our TOEI might be lower in like academics.
They're very smart.
They are really smart.
They're
You
very
find
smart.
some who are God. I have never in my life got people who are very empathetic like those children. They're the most empathetic people. God, they're very empathetic. That one, I'm not even, you might think you're going through something and you don't know, and you're thinking this child might not know you're going through something. They will know. They will know. And they're very empathetic. Yeah.
Now they can't tell you, like they can't communicate.
Some,
but they'll show.
Some some will not. But the ones who will not, they will show you. They will show you. That is when you find a child had maybe some sweets in her bag, and then they're like,
oh,
yeah, because this is what people do to me when I'm feeling sad. Maybe people give me their candy and then I feel better. So they're like, let me give it to Miss Celestine because it might.
Yani they are sweet humans to be around.
Oh my goodness.
Na unajua kusema tu kweli, I think taking from what you're saying, I think I'd love to be around those people. Hawaongei sana, vitendo zinaoneshana sana. Like not a lot of I don't want it to come out badly but you see how we say kuna msitu round yako anashinanga kiongea ikifika time ya actions hakuna. Huyu ikifika actions ziko.
Yeah.
Anaweza kuwa less words, but you feel the presence, you feel it more than just yeah. So maybe something else, one last thing, because I love that one, because now our teachers wataenda jaribu kuwa patient na mtoto wako hapo kwa class and then one last one unaweza tu waambia, because we are trying to create awareness. Hatunanga ubaya na hawana ubaya. Teacher amezoea kusema now run to the toilet and come back, wanakimbia. Huyu hajaenda haja. So at least we've told the teacher, please be more patient with this one. Something else.
Something else is okay, we've said compassion and we've said patience. So the other thing is just teachers actually, what can I say about that?
I'm sure you have something. You know whatever, everything that you know, we don't know. Okay, so you're in that field, we don't know.
Okay, at times you find that when we are giving maybe some materials in class, it's so, or just let's talk about tests. Yeah, that is the good one. Standardized tests. Why should we be doing standardized tests? It is good that we're doing it, but then this other child who has the skills, why do they need to do this standardized test? You know this child can do this thing. This standardized test, it's going for 2 hours or 3 hours or a whole day. How can you make sure that this child is feeling included in this test? If they can do it, what ways are you going to make them included in this test? So you'll be like, maybe you can break it down. So maybe you're doing 10 questions, take a break, 10 questions, take a break, 10 questions, take a break.
Because they can't sit for that long.
They can, but at times, akili too.
Concentration span.
It's too much. It's too much.
Can they do the same exam? Is it
okay? They can.
Okay.
They can do the same exam.
Just break it down.
Break it down. Make it inclusive. If it's a child who cannot read, but then you're doing something that is practical, include them. Include them in that practical.
So are you saying when you're doing our KCPs and our KEPSE and what, we should be having different, like we should also allocate their time?
Yes.
Tusiwajudge na wengine wote.
No.
Oh Lord.
No. Because when you judge them with everyone,
and they're not like everyone.
Like I said, there's rules. Someone had those rules. And it's like us, we just know. We just know this is how we do it. We sit for exams for 10 minutes or 20 minutes, and then we go. These children at times they don't understand. Just break it down. It's fine. It's not going to take you a whole day. It's still the same exam. We're going to do it. If it's not someone who can't read, use pictures.
Gosh.
Yeah.
You see how I'm looking at you? Because I'm like,
And the other thing is, I think we also need to start differentiating our instructions. Like these children or just teenagers or adults, they don't speak the same way we speak. So you'll find some don't speak, but they write. Some speak, some use sign language, some use pictures and all that. So just make sure that in your class, this child has a way of communicating. Yeah, rather than telling them, oh, mtoi akwangia anakaa chini, oh, mtoi anapenda kusimama, anapenda kukimbia. Find a way of communicating. Find a way of making them feel that they can communicate. They want a break, let them have a break. Teach them how to use that, to ask for that break. Imagine if you couldn't speak. Yeah, but then you're trying to communicate. Let's say you also don't know sign language, and you're trying to communicate, and no one is listening to you.
Nobody seems to be understanding that I'm trying to say something.
Yeah,
they're thinking I'm moving around, I'm throwing tantrums, but I'm trying to say something.
And then if you're not understood, and then they say, oh, this one is going to throw a tantrum, and then the tantrum, it has a function. There's a reason why this tantrum is coming. You saw it coming, you were just not keen. How can you be keen and understand when this tantrum is coming? What are the intervention measures you can put so that before this tantrum gets to this extent, how can we just reduce it?
Now, I love that, because now that one is not even for the teachers, even for us.
Yeah.
You see, the parents for these kids, they've mastered learning and understanding their children. Us out here, ndio tutastare. Us out here, us including the teachers. Because kama hajalan na wake, na hajakuwa na opportunity ya kulan na any other kid, that's why we are like, kwania tuli, kwania. But now when you share this, I'm like, okay, so this kid anafanya hivi juu kuna kitu anataka let me see, anataka kufanya nini?
Yeah, it's just, I think it's just being human. Just be human. Imagine yourself, just put yourself in that shoe. What would
it's
you do?
because we don't know.
It's
not
okay.
like you're not being human. It's because we don't know. Honestly,
okay.
I think, why am I teaching naye anakuja kusema mbele yangu hapa?
Yeah.
I'm telling, watoto nyamazeni, ketini, mikono jela. Wote wanaeka mikono jela.
Yeah.
Huyu anakuja huku mbele. Unajua unaweza fikiria, kwani huyu anataka kushawala wengine nini? Until nimesikia Martha akituambia just learn, understand, be patient.
Yeah.
That's when I'll start now. And I'm happy that nowadays people kinda understand.
They do.
Kinda. Yeah.
Because
hata saa hii hata mi nikiona mtu yako mahali yako peke yake anafanya vitu zake, I'll be like, that kid is mwacheni. Huyo si mangasi nini, huyo mtoi mwacheni tu venye
It's okay, yeah.
Ako tu sawa.
And also I think as parents, when you mesema, I think we need to be teaching our children how to teach other children, especially the children who have these disabilities. And it's not just ASD, it's every kind. Yeah. So if a child sees if they see how their parent correlates or relates with other people or other children, then this is what they can pick, and they'll be like, because I've found some children who are very amazing. Like this, maybe when you mesema, go to the bathroom and then come back, and then maybe one of these children they didn't understand the question or the whatever was said, and they'll be like, hey, let's go.
Yeah.
And they just hold their hand and then we go.
Do you know that kid mwenye anamsaidia growing up atakuwa kama sisi?
For sure.
If she happens to be a teacher in a class where there's a kid with that condition, atakuwa na understand.
Yeah.
She's already patient from the word go.
Yeah.
So atakuwa naelewa.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much. So now that you've mentioned, now that you've told us 2-3 things we can practice moving forward, now we won't be staring, I'm sorry. I'd like to know, so when it comes to parents being involved, because like you in a school, you deal with the parent and the school. What are some of the things? Because some of us parents, I don't know whether it's denial, hatutakangi kusikia mtoto wako na hiyo.
Yeah.
So of course hata mi singetaka, like it's hard.
Yeah, it's hard.
Not easy. And then they are growing from kids to adults to, we need to learn them, we need to be patient with them.
Yeah.
So some of the things that a parent can, especially akipeleka shule, moja sisi waambua tu na mzazi ataripit juu ajawai shika, and that's why I'm getting your story exam, because the exam atafail, aripitishwe, kumbe it's not the exam. The boy is okay, the baby is okay. So some of the things the parents can do, because we get angered teacher akikwambia mtafutie shule.
Okay, so first of all, the one person who's the advocate for this child is this parent. You are the advocate. You talk for this child. This school, this is how I want it. This is what I want my child to do. This is how I think this is how we might go. So you have to advocate for your child. And the other thing is, you can, when you get a diagnosis on autism, then you get the levels, then you can know, or you can even go to the specialists and they will tell you what are the long-term and short-term goals of the child. So you have to advocate to get an IEP. What is an IEP? IEP is an individualized education plan or program. This is specific for every other child. This includes your long-term and short-term goals. It will show you what this child will be doing this year. So advocate for that.
What?
It will tell you. It is teachers. If your child is working with an OT, there's an OT in there. If the child has a speech therapist, there's a speech therapist. Applied behavior analysis, everything is in there. So advocate for that IEP, because through that IEP, you get to know where is your child and what level is my child achieving the goals. Okay? So you have to advocate for that.
So is it like per year, every year, ama it's for?
It is revised.
Every year?
It is revised. I think it's different, but then I think there's a 4 months.
So I need to go and see
months.
how he's doing progress.
Yeah.
Then we get another one for this year.
Yeah. So it keeps being updated. Yeah. My child, maybe last year, my child wasn't looking eye contact, but then what was worked on, this, and this. Now my child can have an eye contact. So what is the next goal that goes with that eye contact? Maybe it's saying hi, something of a sort. Yeah, it goes step by step, and it goes to the most complex one. So it's just it builds up. So when you have a child who is autistic and you're going to school, just make sure they have an IEP. And the teachers know how to make it.
So that is between the parent and the teacher. So they need to see this year is what we are working on.
Parent, teacher, and school.
And
school.
And school.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. So at least now we can gauge our kid as per this, not as per, because I have friends who've been told wacha arudie.
Because kurudia, that means everyone's goal is his goal. Everyone's goal. But then every other child has different needs. Are the needs being met in that school? Yeah. So if the needs are being met, then have an IEP, so that as a parent, this is what my child is doing in school, and this is what, Yeah.
So now after school, I don't know, after school, now they're moving from school, they have worked on their social, at least we've mastered them. Now they have gone to their adult life. How is navigating that process? Because now now they have moved from this teacher, wamekuja kwa ofisi.
Kenya has,
wamekuja university.
There's very few places in Kenya.
Push your mic, sorry.
Am I pushing it?
Yes,
this way?
Yeah.
So there are few places in Kenya that deal with adults with autism. I don't know. Like, I can't even tell you one place that will take your child and then you're going to okay, so in my mind, I'm always like, this child, maybe they're interested in ICT. You can see if your child is interested in ICT. They just
gadget.
Yeah, they just navigate around ICT. Yeah. So now you're thinking they might go to college. Do you think those colleges, in college, you remember your classmates? It's like 300 people or 500. I don't know, just too many people. Yeah. There was a program in Strathmore. I don't know if they still have it. Yeah. There's a program in Kiste. I don't know if they still have it.
For adults
with autism. But then, I don't know if I should ask. Can I ask?
Yeah.
I don't know if, I don't want to sell my place of work.
Oh, no, you can.
Okay. So, but then I have seen some places that they train the vocational skills. Yeah. So these vocational skills, like when you come to Kaizora, your child is trained in vocational skills.
Kaizora is where you are now.
Where you work.
Okay.
So in Kaizora, the child is trained on vocational skills, and just from the point of entry, you will know if this child is interested in agriculture or is interested in culinary
arts. At what age is this?
So they start from 14 years.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so yes, the child is still getting all the other therapies and nini, but then they add in vocational skills. So by the time you get to 18, now they're looking for internship for you.
By vocational skills, you mean?
Like literally vocations. So there's like they train you on agriculture, so that is
Okay.
farm work, nini,
Okay.
nini. There's training on culinary arts, so you literally cooking, nini, nini.
So do you do it during the holiday? Do you do it during school time? When are they training this?
So Kaizora, there's a center.
It's called Kaizora what? Full in
Kaizora Center for Neurodevelopmental Therapies.
full? Okay.
So here, this child is trained on all these things that they have interest in. If it's music, then they're trained professionally.
So you join here full time from age 14. That's like high school?
So it's not, we don't do it as a high school. It's what do you need kind of thing.
Okay.
What do you as Celestine need?
So it's not like at 4 years be here, or depending na your time, whatever we see your kid is interested in, tunakupatia anaenda.
Yeah, and they continue with other therapies.
Okay.
You know. So you find that this child, by the time they're 18, now they're looking for internship. And they have graduated people. You know. So this internship, the child is going, they get maybe, I think for them it's like, I think 4 to 6 months of this internship program, and then they're taken into workforce.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like say amefika tu amekuwa mtu mzima.
What do we want as a country? We
want to
quality,
be inclusive.
Yeah.
And yes.
But we want quality of life.
Yes.
What does quality of life for you? It's, do you have friends? Yeah. Are you going out with your friends?
Yes.
Yes. Are you living alone? Can you live alone? Yeah.
And they can live alone.
They can live alone. So these are the things you train them on, their independence, so that their quality of life is up. That's it.
I love that because I don't think have I? I don't think I've met an adult who is autistic. Let me ask, was autism there ama increase? Was it there before ama imeongezeka?
Autism has always been there. The first person who was diagnosed with autism, I think he died last year. I think at 89 years. Yeah, it is a new field, but it's always been there.
But it feels like currently it has become, it feels like it's in the increase. Yeah,
that is what people say. But in my mind, I don't think it is on the increase. It's just that people are getting more diagnosed more. People, when you look at your primary school or high school or campus, you might look at someone and like, yeah, he might be checking some of the boxes. He might have been autistic. He might have
but
been
we didn't know.
But then now people are getting more diagnoses. So it's more skilled workers on the field. So they're getting what they need.
So now we can spot it. We can say,
yeah, like
feels like it's more, but it was just there.
It was there. Yeah, because right now you can look at the child and you're like, can I suggest this to the mom? Can I suggest this to the parent?
Kitambo unge suggest because you don't know.
Yeah.
And I love that umesema. There's something you've said. You don't think, well, we are thinking, we are not sure that there are many places in Kenya who, like whatever you've said about the skills for these kids.
Yeah.
So now that's like a challenge. Is there any other challenge you people face in the autism? Some, I know there are some.
Definitely.
Yes.
So some of the problems that we are facing is changing the mindset. Changing the mindset is hard.
Of
everyone.
The caregiver, the parent, the teachers.
And it goes on and on and on. It goes on and on and on. Because you're trying to tell someone that this child is not venye unadhani
is differently
abled. Let me say that.
Yeah.
It's just the brain is wired differently.
Yes. Yeah. I get it.
And going to schools, you have to change the mind of a teacher that, si ati hawezi. They can. Anaweza. Just give him time. Give him maybe 2 weeks. They're going to get it. But then once they get it, trust me, they're going to beat everyone in class. So you're good.
Yeah. So anashinda, what are you telling me? What are you saying?
And then look at the workplace, right? Workplace right now. Yeah. If you were to employ an autistic person, then that means now these people around also
Need to
have to be
learn.
trained, because it will get to a point where this person might shut and then they're like, I need my space to just breathe. I am sorry. I am not trying to tell you that you can't talk to me right now. I just need some space to go and regulate and then come back. So you have to train everyone.
Yeah.
Now changing the mindset of these people that this person is as competitive as you are
Just
in
give
this
them time.
field. Just give him time.
It's difficult.
Difficult.
I had not thought about that. Changing the mindset. Yeah, that is hard. Because for us, we are like teamwork. Kwani anatu waste?
Yeah.
Group discussions. Kwani anatu waste? Kila kitu anafanyiwa. Kwani...
But have you ever wondered why some people just don't get involved in group works? But then when you give them their own works, they're like, very nice. Yeah. Just, like you say, just not everyone works well in group.
Yeah. Something else? Something else?
So I've talked about the barriers, the institutional and the societal barriers.
Yes.
And then now that one. And the other thing is, I think, how can you make spaces inclusive? We've talked about the workforce, but then how do you make this room inclusive for every other person?
The same way we have the parking areas, we have parking for people with wheelchairs, we have the ramps, we have the lifts.
Yeah.
So we also need to be inclusive.
Yeah, and remember, ASD is not visible. So you wouldn't know if someone is autistic.
Tusema anajifanya.
And then utapata mtoto mwingine ameingia kwa room and then anatafuta tu switch. I shut down.
Azime. Na mna record show kama hii.
So they just
like
the lights are too much for me. I just need, some sensory, nitoe tu kidogo. So they'll just shut it. Or there's some who will actually, they want the whole room to be light. Yeah. So it's just how can you make those kinds of spaces for them?
I think now I understand why some parents will be like, acha tu nibaki na wangu kwa nyumba. Akitoka nje ataanza kusumbua watu. Cause imagine amekama hapa venye tu umesema, tuna record azime stima.
Yeah.
I'm human, but imagine how we'll react.
Right.
Like, sasa nani ameachilia mtoto?
Seriously. Mtu ashike mtoto. Tafadhali shika mtoto wako.
Before you know, you're like, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it, I'm sorry.
Yeah. But also, I think us as Kenyans, we just need to be more aware. You go somewhere just to be more aware.
We need to.
Before you even go and sit down in a conference, just ask, is there somewhere this decent person can, have some sensory, relief. Yeah.
I love that you're finishing by saying, Kenyans, we need to be more aware. Because that's what I imagine. Hey, by the I am putting myself into their world. Naona venye tu vitu mingi zinasumbua.
Yeah.
Like, kama hiyo ya colors. Ingia tu super, you'll see so many colors.
Everything is there.
So,
and then remember, wewe unajua, when you go to the supermarket, you take the trolley and then you take everything else, and then you go, you pay before you take, maybe kama ni some clips, you'll take them after you're done. But then this is like, it's you just have that as a rule. It's an unspoken rule. God. But then remember, there are people who this is not an unspoken rule for them. Yeah, so they have to be taught. Like when you go to the supermarket, you go, you shop, you take the trolley, you shop everything, you have to pay before you take it. It is hard.
So that's where you see moms akona mtoto kwa supermarket, amejiangusha, amejililisha, anataka. Then you're here saying, mimi mtoto wangu akifanya hivyo na...
But that is why I love moms. Because moms will be like, that means throwing a tantrum down there. Yeah, okay, mom. They'll just be okay, fine. Because they have gone through the same. Moms have gone through children.
So we have those ones who've gone through it. Then we have those ones who will be out there judging.
Yeah.
Then we have those ones who get to a point and I'm like, you know what? Acha tu nimwachange kwa gari ama kwa nyumba because I can't.
Yeah.
Okay. I love that we are really creating some awareness and it's the month for April. So so maybe the other thing will be, and this one, okay, the last thing I'll ask you after, but no, the other thing will be something that we as Kenyans in those public spaces, pale archives pale unajua kwenye tunakwanga hivi unajua kwenye tuko crowded na tuna assume kila mtu ako na akili zake of course kila mtu ako na akili zake but sasa tuna assume we are the same venye tu umesema those things that we feel like it's kawaida this is how it's supposed to be done but then there's this person putting all factors aside, the scamming, the wakora, everything else because right now I'm scared to tell you nikusaidia happy then ukue, you know so putting all those factors aside what is that thing you would urge us as Kenyans?
Again, be more aware. They are not standing or looking around because they are confused or something. No, they just don't know like what is going on. Where should I concentrate? It is too much. People are talking, people are walking, everything is just happening very fast. How can you like just try? At times, I can't just go to someone and be like, can I help? But then before you go, don't touch them. Just ask from, can I help you?
If you notice like
such and such is happening, just can I help you? Give them a little bit of space before you approach. Because that way, if someone was just to come, you'll be like, oh, I'm fighting you. Yeah. So just be more aware. Just, that is all.
Can I ask you, now feel free if you want to answer. If you don't want, just say pass, then you can end the show.
Yeah.
What made you specialize in this field?
Not knowing.
Really?
Not knowing. I don't like not knowing. Because, so in campus, you will find that some units, let me say that, or specializations, they only take a certain quorum. So in my campus, we had to have at least 15 people. And in my class, people went for the visible disabilities. So that is hearing impairment, physical, such and such. Those are the ones that had people. And then there's these other ones that are not visible. People didn't go for it. So behavioral disorders, learning disabilities, we actually had to go and talk to the school. And we were like, please allow us. We want to do this thing. Allow us to do this. So what made me want to do this is actually, I'm going to go back to my boss. I went for Autism Awareness in 2017 and 2018. And then I saw how she talked about autism. In school, trust me, what you're taught is like a page on autism.
Wait until you meet with it out here.
Wait until you meet. So this woman, she talked so well about autism. You're like, yeah. So I was like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. So in school, yes, I didn't do behavioral disorders because that is the specialization that went with autism. But then after that, I actually applied to that and I was like, if Kaizora doesn't take me, I'm going to apply again and again and again. By God's grace, I got in the first time. So that is how I guess, it was just not knowing that I wanted to know. Yeah.
That's a challenge to us all. Because I didn't know, I wanted to know. Because that I feel naeza taka tu kujua.
Yeah.
Not even to teach ama to make it a career. Just to, because in the society we are in, kuna vitu mingi that we don't know. You end up judging people. You end up sema mtoto anani fulani. You know how we talk. Yet, hata huyo nani mama yake, hajui. And you know, those also, parents who don't know hata mtoto wangu wako na.
You can look at your community. Let's just remove ourselves from city life and go back to your community. You'll find that there are people who are being wanafichwa.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yes.
then there are some children who are actually in the market when wanaitwa vichwa mbaya. Have you ever just thought and you're like, I don't think they're vichwa mbaya. It's just we don't know what to do. We just don't understand them.
But pia wewe, ebu jiweke kwa hiyo position ya, I want to communicate something, but I can't say it. Hautaka manga? Like, sure. Do you know that's why they call them? Yeah. Like, nataka kwenda choo kwa class, nataka kwenda washroom. Teacher sijui kusema teacher nataka kwenda. Yeah. But mi nitatoka tu na hii mlango na nibang na niende. Teacher atakuonaje?
Alafu, kumbuka ukijisusulia, then other children will be like, Miss, nani, has also done themselves.
Oh God.
So it's a delicate balance, let me say that. It's very delicate.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
yeah.
But then I would say Kenya has made some strides
Oh, we have.
since 2000. So there was only one. So there's this person called board certified behavior analyst.
Mhm.
Previously in 2009 all the way to I think 2019, there was only one.
Mhm.
And then now we've had people going to the same field. So what does behavior analysis do? It actually analyzes the behavior of this child
Why do they behave?
this way.
Okay.
And then they come up with ways of them to cope. So if you go to a room and you're feeling sensory overload, what is
do
a
you
way you
do?
can cope with such? If you're going to somewhere and it's so loud, what is a way you can cope? So Kenya has made some strides.
Sasa imagine, what do they cope? How do they cope? Wameingia kwa matatu. Iko na nganya, iko na makelele.
So that is where that ABA comes in. So they teach you how you are going to cope. It would be maybe having some headphones.
Oh,
the noise cancelling. Yeah. And then
that's expensive now. If I need headphones to be boarding a matatu.
It is. That's why, like I said, Kenya, we need to make more strides.
Yeah.
Why do our matatus have to be that loud? I know it's a matatu culture, but then remember, you're not...
exactly what you are saying. We feel like kila mtu anabambika na ngoma. Akiambiwa punguza sauti, ndio kinaanza kunachwa.
The fact that it's only one, utapata maybe it's only one in that matatu.
Yeah, and choose another one.
Yeah, you'll be like, makanga, like, no. Kama uwezi toka nje. And in real sense, this guy is struggling.
Imagine.
Yeah.
So as we end this episode, I love how compassionate you are. Like from you just wanting to learn a skill to you developing that soft space. Yeah, I say, I love it. Thank you so much. So maybe as we end this, we are spreading the awareness, and I'm glad you've done. I think Atamisa Niko. I'm that Kenyan who is
aware.
More aware. We'll keep on doing more of it. But as we end it, there's that one thing. Ungetaka tu wa Kenya. Kuna hiyo kitu moja tu unaonanga tu mtu anafanya, you're like, I wish people will not do ama will do more of.
I would say, so I wish Kenyans would be more okay, there are places that are doing the same, but then just autism awareness. It is not something that we only do in April. Every day is Autism Awareness Day.
Yeah.
Because just because you can't see it, it is there. Yeah. And also, I think just be compassionate. You are doing amazing, but be compassionate. Try and be more compassionate, more than you're doing right now. Yeah.
And not only to the autistic, even the others.
Yeah.
The behavioral, the entire group.
Yeah. And then for schools in Kenya, I think schools need to welcome other professionals. Not only special needs educators can work with people with autism. There's some other professionals that should come into the field, because all of these still help this autistic individual. These individuals could be occupational therapists, could be speech therapists, could be applied behavior analysts. So this is still going to help this child. Be more open to learn. Be more open to try other strategies, because it's not a one shoe fits all, it's a spectrum. Yeah. So just be more willing to learn. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Martha.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I am willing to learn. Personally, I am willing to learn. Thank you so much, guys. And I hope this episode has, at least, hata kama uko unajua kitu, hata kama ulikuwa zero, at least kuna one or two things umejua, you know? So in this month, na sio April pekee venye Martha amesema, throughout, let us be willing, let us be more compassionate, let us be more patient with these people. They are our brothers, they are our sisters, they are our friends, they are our neighbors. We meet them everywhere. They are there.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Martha. We are going to try and apply some of these things.
Imagine if you tried if you try and someone else tries,
tutakuwa tu sawa. We are moving.
we're doing that.
Tunasonga. Yeah. So thank you so much, Martha. Thank you for coming. We are going to share details zako na za hiyo the organization, so that in case anyone wants to reach out, they can reach out to either you, to either anyone.
Yeah, you're
who is
welcome to
able
come.
to.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. I hope you're going to and you've enjoyed the show. See you next week for the other episode. Bye.
Bye.